Suddenly, for some reason, the sun decides to rise up behind Grim when he tells the group they're going to Vancouver to his base. Is Grim Japanese or something? What is up with this effect? Is he cooking a giant egg behind him? Speaking of which, what the hell is up with that stick that Grim carries around with a leaf on it? Is it an air freshener? Well, I suppose the guy would stink up a bit considering the effort that must go into moving an over-muscled body around. Yeah, I know, I keep getting away from the plot, but visually this comic is just so unappealing. My mind just drifts when trying to read it, and I'm only 7 freaking pages in! Anyway, we cut back to Mech-Max, who now looks like a poorly designed transformer. I fully expect him to suddenly speak with a robotic voice saying, "Transform and roll out!" And flipping the page, we see that focusing back in on Mech-Max was a red herring, since now we switch over to the Dooms Corporation itself. Within some random room rests the aforementioned cyber idol, who's got so many lines on his face you'd think that a little kid had just scribbled a marker all over it. Cyber idol looks kind of cool with various parts of his body suspended in a little chamber, but we never get a good look at it. "Even here, locked away within my metal prison, I am capable of victory over those traitorous fools. I will personally destroy their plans for freedom with my very own hands. And with my own hands, I mean by ordering an underling to do it for me." Some unseen minion, apparently they couldn't afford extras in this comic, shouts out that their particle cannon is priming. The cannon shoots and the narrator begins the standard shtick of explaining what's going on to anyone who apparently just lost their contact lenses. As Cyber Idol's sinister command is carried out by his unwavering soldiers of evil, a radio energy wave is sent on a mission of betrayal. I dare you to try to diagram that sentence. Long story short, and 4 long panels of extreme close-ups later, the beam makes contact with the Grimjet, activating Mech-Max. "Surrender to Mech-Max, now! Surrender to Mech-Max while I fire my finger beams in random directions!" When asked why the intruder wasn't detected, Grim points out that he did everything except make a visual inspection of the ship's exterior prior to takeoff, and no one noticed the extra weight, and that, "I'd say we've been carrying a stowaway, but I still should have detected its presence." Jason shouts back, "Forget the technobabble, you two. I'd say we got ourselves some grade A1 trouble." Technobabble? I'm sorry, Jason, but visual inspection is not technobabble. This is technobabble.
Using multimodal reflection sorting, I've been able to detect a complex series of subspace signals between Locutus and the Borg ship.
Learn the difference. Grim attacks Mech-Max with a giant drummer stick while giving orders to the rest of the group. Mech-Max shoves Grim away, but then Brick attacks. Mech-Max just slams Brick away while shouting, "I am Mech-Max! I am power!" Isn't it weird how a character speaking in the third person suddenly increases their awesome factor by 20%? Brick's body smashes up partially because of the impact, causing a piece of debris to suddenly hit Byrne, who's crouching down to make sure her legs stay in the panel. Jason attacks Mech-Max using the full force of his superpower, self-amputation! Despite the fact that he's kicking metal, Jason shows no sign that he's in pain from the attack. "We'll still see to it that you return to home base nothing but a pile of computer parts. And we'll stick your parts in static bags so we can keep your various components safe, because that is what we do with our computers." Honestly, who the hell talks like this guy? Mech-Max phases his head, or something. It's not entirely clear what the hell he does, though he says, "Mine is the power to disrupt and control any radiomagnetic enhanced power factor." Now that is technobabble. Grim whacks Mech-Max on the head and shouts, "That explains it!" Explains what, your armor? He's been sent here to wreak havoc with your abilities and capture us all. He's been sent to capture you all? How could he know that? Could it be because... he already said so? Byrne realizes that Jason isn't moving while Grim asks for Brick's help. "I'm sorry, man, but that tin suit's making it tough for me to pull myself together. It'd be hard for you, too, being made out of Chi-Chi salsa." Byrne jumpstarts Jason by lightly burning his skin. With 4 arms. Yeah. Jason tells her not to do that to him again, and suddenly Byrne is in tears, apologizing since she can't control her heat. "Mech-Max is making me pulse hot and cold. I'm doing all I can not to reach Flashpoint. Forgive me." "I can't stop posing like I'm in a Victoria's Secret catalog. Please forgive me." Byrne says that every time the ship dips into a valley to avoid radar, Mech-Max seems to be drained of all his energy. When the hell did that ever happen? Did she read the script? Grim, somehow managing to speak 3 paragraphs worth of dialogue before he even swings his stick here, says they need to cut off his power feed, wherever it's coming from. All of a sudden, though, With a thunderous roar, the cold sky appears to rip open. The consummation between darkest evil and blackest science offends the heavens. Ah, crap, it's that damn narrator from Thunderstrike #1. What? He's surging with power! Look at that guy, he's surging with tumors, Grim! Optimus Cancer's face suddenly morphs, so he's a T-1000 now, into the face of the cyber idol. I tell you about the stunning and gripping dialogue being spoken, but frankly I'm too mesmerized by Byrne here. Apparently she has opted to stop fighting and just start doing her Jenny Craig workouts. Brick, in his sand form, sneaks up behind Cybermax and attacks, but his powers get disrupted again and he gets blown up. I'm not sure what happened to Grim and Jason, but Idol Mech confronts Byrne, who generates a wall of flames. I won't sit idly by while you attempt to destroy us! And by that I mean I'm going to sit here like I have for the last 10 pages! So the timid little schoolgirl finds her courage after all. Bravo! Have a gold star! Grim, apparently jumping out of the wall, hits the idolatrous mech on the back and tells Byrne to land the ship in the trees so Cyberman will be cut off from his power. You're mad. You would risk your own lives to acquire freedom? Because that's just how we roll. In America. Or Canada, I guess, since that's where they were headed. Of course, instead of following instructions to land the plane, Byrne apparently sends it crashing right into the freaking trees. Oh, you know those woman drivers. Dear God, this comic sucks! The artwork is atrocious, the dialogue is stilted and moronic, and the story itself is as bland as the characters. But just to really torture myself, why don't I take a look at the letters column for the book, just to see how people were reacting to it at the time. Dear Robin Crew, I don't know how you keep coming up with these great characters and titles, but you sure know how to make a great comic. Extreme colors make every page simply beautiful. Dear Mark Pacella, you are by far the greatest artist of all time. If you make a movie, get Mark Paul Gosselaar, Zach from Saved by the Bell, to play the part of Slider. How about Jean-Claude Van Damme as Grim? He's perfect for the part. My brain is trying to escape through my ear! Well, kids, that was a fun comic, wasn't it? I have to go lie down now.
'Cause I got a brand new combine harvester and I'll give you the key.